Welcome back, everybody. We got a big night of basketball tonight here on Extra. Got a doubleheader out in West Fargo. Horace and Cheyenne. Girls will tip at 5:45. The boys about 7:15, closer maybe to 7:30 tonight. And then on WDAY2, we got hockey tonight. Good one between Red River and Davies, with coverage beginning at 7 o'clock of that one. Apparently, you got your stuff already done. You want to do this now, David Richman? You can come on over. Come on. You're in studio. You don't need to worry about those. Don't worry. I'm serious. You're fine. All you're going to hear is me and Eric. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. So,
well, I don't mind hearing Eric. But if we're going to do a Q&A, I'm going to have to hear you anyways.
One take wonder? You got done with your...
Don't say that out loud. Now you jinxed it. Now next Monday, it's going to take 17 shoots, and Mike's going to be yelling and screaming and cursing at me.
So first off, it's great to have you back. We were just visiting off air, and I was talking about it before you came in. The travels.
Well, I don't care about you for me you to say good to have you. I'm just happy to see my wife and kids too. Yes. You know. Gosh, you hate to throw anybody under the bus.
But
there's a certain airline and a certain
I've already railed on him on this show.
Airport that just seems to be undefeated. But I said it. I was in the middle of a back seat of a small Uber with James and Jones late Saturday night on our way to the hotel, and I looked over, and Faith, I said it to Jones, has taught me, if this is the worst thing that happens to us today, it's a pretty darn good day.
So
we are back.
When you left Denver on Friday, they had already moved the game up on you?
So there was conversations even the day before. Phelps had been in touch with the league, and the officials were going to be there, and that was going to be second best scenario. One, that they were going to move it to Sunday. Two, we were going to be able to stay as is, and then the other option was obviously 2 p.m. And then as we were going from Denver to Tulsa, Corey, the head coach at Oral Roberts, said, hey, we're going to move this thing to 2. Doesn't look like there's any chance we play it at night. This will be our best case scenario. And it ultimately, honestly, ended up being a great scenario, especially the way it turned out.
For what we've seen weather reports. How bad was it in Oklahoma? I know, relatively speaking.
Again, you get a lot of great friends and relationships through this profession. And so I've done a really poor job. But when I was in Oklahoma, I was reminded about Kish. So I called Roger Kish, and he's like, I should swing over there. And he's like, yeah. I said, Roger, you're never going to get over here. The weather's bad. He looks at me. He's like, Dave, they don't know anything about what weather is, too. And to his point, he was right.
Yes.
It ended up being like just snow. It really did. Now, the only thing is they just can't get to the roads. They don't have the infrastructure, the equipment, the manpower, whatever it is to clear the roads. So, even on our way to the airport on Sunday, you could see some cars getting stuck. You could see some people trying to climb the hills, going backwards. But then you also saw some people in parking lots doing cookies. You saw some people going down sledding hills.
Jeez.
We're back.
Yeah.
You got a lot of appreciation for Fargo and the way we can handle things and the toughness, things like that. And they would probably laugh at us as they go through some things in the summer.
There's no doubt, considering what the flip side of that is, what
Correct.
they deal with in June, July. In August, it seemed, though, the team rolled with everything that was thrown at them, though, from what it's on the outside.
That's always been our messaging, that, to eliminate excuses, embrace the challenges. And, we didn't have Damari, the way he went down at the end of the Denver game, the quick turn. I didn't feel like we played very well at home against ORU. And I thought Oral Roberts was pretty engaged and pretty locked in. I know they didn't feel like they played great, at North Dakota. Yeah. And so we got a really good version of them. And the combination just ended up being a perfect storm. And I thought we really, really defended. And I know the headlines, and it should be too. Tay Smith was, just hotter than hot. And that really gapped us. But, too, you saw the best version of us, Dom, where we were playing great defense leading to some great offense.
To have that kind of performance, especially how the game, you won Thursday, but I'm sure I didn't talk to you afterwards, but I know You got up big. Denver takes the lead. You end up winning the game. How did you feel leaving Denver? I know, hey, we won, but I was interested how that went.
Honestly, felt great leaving Denver. There's the metrics and all the things told us that, besides a couple other games, this is going to be one of the harder games left on our schedule. I think Denver's got a very talented outfit, especially offensively. And I was probably more surprised with we built like a 13 or 15-point lead in the first half. So that was probably more of a surprise. And I didn't love how we finished the half. That was and that just kind of gave some momentum to Denver. There ended up. I was even talking to Matt Larson last night on the radio show. Like that ended up being a really good environment and a raucous environment. Yeah, and I kind of figured that with the feel of us and the history with some former players and Tim and all that. But I'm really proud of our guys just because Denver takes a lead, they tie it again late, and we just never flinched. Yeah. We kept responding and showed some great toughness and composure and some poise. And anytime you're going on the road and getting a dub, it's great.
So to have that and then travel and then have everything that was thrown at you and the way you played Saturday, man, you could have probably driven the bus if you wanted to.
I tell you what, you're exactly right. Saturday about 5 o'clock, I was on an ultimate high right there, and again, it ended up being, just going into it, just talking to some people down there. They're like, oh, this, and you're going to Denver. There's always a chance of that. You hear about the altitude stuff. It's the last time we're going there. All the things that go into it. And it's just a coach, right? Your antennas are up for a lot of things, and but very, very pleased with the way we were able to take care of business, obviously.
All right, we'll talk some more Bison hoops in a second. We were teasing, we got a big high school night here. I know you can't speak specifically, but out in West Fargo, there's some, your neck of the woods, there's some pretty good basketball being played out there these days. Yeah, this is great.
Huh? Like I'll take the nice coffee and breakfast you got me for coming in studio, and as we're talking some high school hoops, I'll drink that coffee and looks better than your pretzels.
I got an apple. Don't you worry.
You can't eat pretzels before 10 a.m., hey.
No? Is that against the rules?
That's against the rules.
Are you out recruiting now these days, or are you in the grind of it now? I know you were earlier in the year, but are you getting out still?
Duke, we just acquire players. They just come to us. It's great high school hoops, and I will. You got a nice little hat in the background there. I'll bang the table on the old Cheyenne Mustangs. I got 3. I got 1 there now, and next year we'll have 3. And
think about that. There you go. That's
well. The other part of that is I got 1 that won't be in high school anymore at all. That's where like. The chrome on the top of my head, that's where all that comes from. My oldest one, she tests me. But yeah, no, it's great. It's great to, like you said, I can't comment specifically on any, but I think Cheyenne's gotten a couple big wins lately, and I know they had a slow start too. And just any time as the basketball coach in town, yet you can see good high school basketball too. They're still, not much better than grabbing some popcorn and watching some high school basketball.
Can you do that even locally? I'm not trying to make you sound like you have a big deal, but people know who you are. Can you actually just go and sit and watch the game, or is it people are, Dave, how's it going?
I mean, you get a lot of that, and you get a lot of this time of year. It's been nice, right. A lot of the pats on the back and and those things, but. I think most people have a good idea too at the very end of the day on why I'm there, and usually we have a group of parents too that are great too, that we can go and have a couple drinks beforehand and go to the games and just enjoy it too. But also some of that, like I embrace that is part of my roles and responsibility as a leader of this program and within our department.
All right, let's break. We come back. We'll chat a little bit more on Dave's weekend as the Bison swept against Denver and Oral Roberts, sitting in first place in the Summit League at 8-0. It's coming up. We come back. More Dave Richman in studio after this.
I think just like Dom's outfit, they're not always pretty. Sometimes they're really ugly. But
just been all over Amazon and just about every site looking for these mustard pants.
And my wife will tell you, she wants to burn mine.
People actually listen to your show.
They watch.
They watch it.
Yeah.
Play defense in that first half like Dom transitions to you after the game. It's way too long, way too lazy, but...
You got all these answers. I'm going to bring you over and have you do our non-conference schedule.
I'd love to. I'd love to go to Grand Canyon,
I would
man.
Hey,
you're
you
doing
come
that
with.
game.
That's not the thing.
I love when you're on Dom. You're so transparent. And I'm like, so 2 things are happening. That one, people are watching your show, listening.
Yes.
Right? That caught me a little off guard. I'm just being honest.
I love it when you get to see it actually in person. You're just marveling first off at yourself on television, right? That's pretty good.
I'm a really nice guy. Is basically what I took from. Well, I'm a really honest guy.
You know what that is? That's known each other for 20 years.
Correct.
We can have that kind of back and forth. So that's
Correct.
pretty darn good.
Oh.
Dave Richman here in studio with us this morning. You bumped McFeely. He's on after you now. So
I
you're
love
hitting lead off here today.
That is great. I need to let him know that. Or you can deal. You can deal.
I will
with him.
definitely pass that along.
You can deal with him on that.
We got David Studio who's taping the Bison basketball show, which is on tomorrow night here on Extra after the travel mishaps of the NDSU men getting back from Tulsa. You mentioned earlier as well. That's the last. If last time playing in Denver, it was a heck of a way to go out with a win out there.
It was, and I was actually talking to Timmy before the game too, and I said, "Hey, when you took the job, did you know anything about it?"
I asked him about that.
Yeah, he said, "No, I showed up for a Halloween. I thought a Halloween party and find out." He goes, "It changed our recruiting a little bit too." But I think that obviously the market of Denver, Colorado is pretty attractive to some of those leagues and all those things, and hockey's a big part of what they're doing there, and and so.
Well, you were out there
Tim.
too. I mean, the Broncos are getting ready to play for a
Yeah.
chance at the Super Bowl. The hockey team out there is really good. The Nuggets, last I checked, are pretty darn good. That's a tough market to compete for college basketball. in my
Yeah,
mind.
no, it is too, but also a really cool little
Yep.
market of everything that's going on. And so, Tim will do a good job there, and they're doing a good job there.
Is
right
the
now.
basketball good? High school basketball in Colorado, from what you know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We took Oliver Junker
Yeah,
from,
that's
from
right,
out there, and Jones was able to get out there and see him play too. And so I don't know enough. It's a different. We were such in the market for a high school big, and just getting some bodies like that, and through some different things we were able to see Oliver. But yeah, that's really all I know.
Email comes in. Dom, he asked Dave if he has any experience or knows Fred Hoiberg, the Nebraska
I do know,
coach.
Yeah, I do know Fred a little bit. Communicated a little bit with him through the Sam Griesel thing.
Yeah.
Followed up on some NIL things, with him a little bit, and I love watching him play right now. And I give him a lot of credit too. He's battled some tough seasons, but the way his son and the way Cale Jacobson are playing right now. They have some really good parts, but it still tells you like what goes into winning college basketball games, and you're even seeing it too. St. Louis right now is playing really good with 4 or 5 guys almost in double figures and a couple more averaging, and the ball is popping. Like there's still a way to win basketball games. It's more than just talent.
And St. Louis, that's Josh Hertz, who left Indiana
Correct.
State to go there
Schertz,
when he was really, really good there. Nebraska and Michigan are playing tonight. That's 5 and 3 ranked in the country in basketball. Not football, basketball. That's pretty darn good.
The Big Ten's rolling right now,
Yeah.
and they're going to let you know it too. I think it's 3 straight in football, or at least 2 straight. I know
That's
and,
3, yeah.
and all those things. Now Arizona might have something to say about it, but and Michigan. I watched them the other day. Michigan's really good.
I watched Arizona last night. I watched them play the
Yep.
Jackrabbits before they came and played you guys, and I saw them last night. They're all right too.
We were in obviously for a extended period of time. We were in the O'Hare Airport, and the Bulls G League team, Windy City, something I don't know what that, but like there is a different level, and I think that's what got me too. Like when you see Arizona, you see Michigan, like there's some dude-looking guys. Like I mean, the shoulders, the height, the length, like. There's a presence to him.
We had video last week when Grant was playing in Sioux Falls. Grant Nelson was playing there, and he had like 20 some odd points. But just like we watch Grant play here, just an absolute freak.
He probably blends in,
right?
the
But it's just
there.
like it's not nothing. It's like he's not anything special, and that's I'm not saying anything derogatory about him.
Yeah.
Just like the level of guys out there is crazy good.
Well, and I just think that's good for everybody to see. And how are you going to be different? What's your separator? Yeah.
All right, give us an update if you can. We have the video at the end of the game Thursday. You obviously win, but Damari didn't finish the game. What can you tell us about Damari's status right now?
He got his ankle, and he twisted it pretty good, and certainly never, ever a good thing, especially how important he is to us on and off the court, and his mentorship, his leadership, and we held him out on Saturday. And then I think it's going to be day to day. I really do. I thought, after and going into the Oral Roberts game, there was no way he plays against USD. I don't know if that's the case. There's been some good feedback with him and Dan, and but we also need to be smart too. And if it was going to happen, the fact that we only have one game this week is going to be somewhat of a silver lining. But at the end of the day, that we ultimately have to think big picture and just how important he is to us too. So there's no need to make any decisions until, we need to make those decisions. But it is progressing a little bit better than we anticipated.
Did he land on somebody's foot? We didn't have a good replay on the television
like I
broadcast.
said, I politely asked the official who was observing that shot all the way down, because they're supposed to protect the shooter, and then the official said, I watched it all the way to the ground, and then we were able to kind of, it's a tight angle, but Wes Offerman said he saw it too, where I think he just kind of comes down on his own on it.
Oh.
And, my assumption is, in college basketball, playing college basketball, you've sprained your ankle multiple times usually. And I don't know if he's done his right one before.
Really?
And because of that first one can be pretty significant, pretty painful. It doesn't respond. So, no ill intentions by Denver or anything like that. It's a basketball play, and we'll just take it day by day.
The luxury then you've had of having 2 point guards all year to turn things over to Stefanowicz to run it full time, then that's a nice luxury to have.
Well, it's certainly a nice luxury too, but we have some things going behind the scenes too with some other guys, and Emil Skuta came in and played a little bit like that, and that gives us certainly a different look. Like I said, hopefully not a long-term look, but the size, physicality, presence too helps us stay in the game, stay in the fight defensively. Riley Massey has done some of those things at times. And again, going back to what I said at the top of the show, when we can play defense with that kind of activity and tension and intentions, that really sparks our offense, and then everybody kind of becomes the point.
So Stefanowicz takes that corner three, the shot clock going down. What's going through your mind?
Go in. Actually, it is so random. There's so many things going on in a game that I'm just thinking about, what do I need to be doing next. And as soon as he took that shot, we needed to set our defense.
Get back on D, right?
Yeah, and so it became a timeout situation. So we could change some personnel and make sure we were set a little bit too. But then you go back and you watch it in the moment, and again, we talk a lot about a lot of our guys too, and I thought I did a really poor job for a couple weeks of, but Andy's been so consistent, and this is 2 times now in league on the road where he has that 8 assists and no turnovers, and I think we talk a lot about Damari and Travion Carson and how Trayson Anderson's playing and the activity of all these guys, Tay Smith, but Andy is so consistent, and Andy plays with a selfless vibe to get everybody involved. And that stuff is infectious, Dom. And people feel that. And the way we share the ball, the way we get others involved is pretty fun to watch.
Now, he was a scorer in high school, but watching that, did you know he was a playmaker like he is at the college level?
I love to disagree.
Okay, go for it.
I love to disagree with you. Obviously, in fact, we've been doing too much agreeing lately.
I noticed that on social media. Posted that. Yeah.
No, I've always thought Andy is a little bit throwback, where his head is always up, his eyes are always up, and now he has the ability to space the floor and catch and shoot and do some of those things, or he's gonna take what you give him. But I think, and Andy would probably tell you this, his preference would be to distribute first and get others involved. Yep.
So without Damari on Saturday, what was the decision to put Tay in the line? It looks like it's, by the way, the best move you ever made in your life, by the way.
It's brilliant, right?
Was that a no-brainer that Tay was going to go?
I think that was the biggest thing, is I knew he was going to make 8 threes if I inserted him into the starting lineup in that situation. No, I mean, it's next man up. Yeah. Tay had been making some great strides. And I say this, and I think there's other rooms for Tay to get on the court, but who are you going to take off? One of those things. And so Damari went down. Tay's the next man up. We bended some other things in the rotation to make sure we were protected in some areas. I thought the staff did a really good job of organizing us and organizing me. And Tay has been competing his butt off defensively. He's been rebounding the basketball great. But he's also showing these things too. And he hit 5 in the first half against Southern Illinois. He's had some heaters in practice, and he's capable of it, so fun to see.
So in that vein, you're worried about defense of the next play. Are you paying attention? Okay, he's made 3, made 4. Are you noticing that he's unstoppable in the first half?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm present, and it was probably his time to come out in the sub-rotation. I'm like, I'm going to let this one go a little bit. And Stragy's got it figured out, so he's going to him a little bit more. The guys got it figured out, so they're finding him in transition. And again, there's a clip too. He hits, I don't know which one it was, 5 or 6, and he goes back to the bench. And just the joy, the smiles on our bench was really cool to see.
How is that on the bench? I guess is maybe a better question. What's that to react like that?
It's the best, and it's the ultimate best. And I just, again, I'm so proud of our program and culture right now. Like we understand winning and the selflessness that goes into it, and we can enjoy each other's success. And I heard Schertz talk about this, the coach at St. Louis. This day and age, that's hard to find.
Well, and you've mentioned this to me in a couple of press conferences as well, that winning isn't necessarily what everything's about right now, especially in men's Division I college basketball. Can you expound on that a little bit?
I believe I've said it. We prioritize winning, and that's not always the case.
Yeah.
And in a day and age of me, in a day and age of if I do this, I'm going to get that in the portal or that NIL.
Yeah.
I mean, it's harder to come by. But if that's your mentality, you're just not going to play for us. And we're pretty adamant and convicted in that in our recruiting process. If we see selfish behavior on the court, you're going to sit. The bench is the ultimate reminder, and then you're not going anywhere for portal or any of those things too. But the other thing too is we have a track record of guys going straight to pros, doing well here.
Yeah.
We have guys going here and making some significant amount of money at other places too. And bottom line is winning attracts winners, and you want to be attracted to us, and I think that's a big part of why our guys are having success and go on to have success.
I'm not trying to pump you up here. How rare is that now in the game where this is what we're going to stress, and that's important to us?
Well, I do think it's rare. I think fan bases get caught up in winning the portal and winning recruiting battles and all those things, and a little bit more of the sexy over the substance or the style. But I am going to, pat ourselves as a staff on the back and bang the table a little bit. We are very convicted, and I think for a while some people didn't understand it, but like we pass on talent quite a bit now.
And see, that's the thing. You've been going through this for 5 years, or I think the football fans, and you and I have had this conversation like, wow, this is what is happening. You've been dealing with this for the better part of 5 to 6 years now.
Bison football is going to be just fine.
Yes.
Because they have a blueprint.
Yeah.
They have a foundation of what culture looks like and what pride looks like. And Tim's messaging, like, come in here and we stress it to our guys the other day, is we, then me. It's not we over me. There's still things in it for all of us, absolutely. But the moment it goes me, then we, we're not messing with that.
You got 5 more minutes here?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the hour here with Dave and get a couple emails coming in and chat about the upcoming game. Bison heading to Vermillion to take on South Dakota on Saturday. That's coming up. We wrap up the first hour of Hot Mic after this. All right, last few minutes here with NDSU men's basketball coach Dave Richman. Bison are at Vermillion to take on South Dakota on Saturday. Email comes in from one Jay Kolpak. I don't know if you've heard this. Dom, I noticed Coach Richman actually smiles around you. Why is he grouchy with all other reporters?
Maybe take the hints, Jay Kolpak. Hey, I got to finish my notes too. Some other WDAY guy just came in and said we need to be more interesting.
Yeah, he's waiting.
So I'm writing down, the interesting things I need to have here on paper.
So the one game week here, that's a little different. You mentioned obviously with Damari's deal that it might be the worst, and with travel, it may not be the worst thing in the world what you have going on this week.
Yeah, I think it's like anything. It's a fine line of we're obviously in a great rhythm, and we need to make sure we sustain that rhythm. But also too, if there is a shorter practice window for a couple guys, and we can do those things too. It is that time of year too where the bumps, the bruises, are adding up a little bit. Some of your higher minutes guys, can we do a little bit less with them? Rightfully so. A lot of coaches are doing it right now. You're paying attention to Kurt Signetti. He talks a lot about production, over potential. The other thing is he talks about efficiency a lot when they don't practice very long. But when they do, they're efficient, they're organized. So I think that's got to be vital to it. But make no mistake, come tomorrow, we're going to be hitting our 3-day prep. And, USD is a different team than they were the first go-around. They've added literally a different team.
They really have.
What Eric Peterson has done to win a couple games and hold that group together is remarkable. But we'll be ready to go at 5 p.m. on Saturday.
How much have you changed your own practice style in terms of when you get to February? Are you guys going as long as you would in the old day, 10 years ago as opposed to now?
Yes and no. I think it's different. That's different for everybody. We have a line, and I don't think some of the guys understand it, or maybe they don't like it. We will treat you all fair. We won't treat you all equal. And so we got some higher minute guys that are going to do less on certain days. We got some other guys like I was talking to another coach, a great friend of mine, but we're still, the window might be a little shorter, but we are a developmental program. And we're going to continue to develop everybody in our program. One, to make our practices more healthier and competitive too. But you saw a great example of that the other day when we needed Carson Smith again. We needed Emil Skuta in some different situations. So all part of our process.
Sam has got the story. It's up at inforum.com on Emil and his backstory, which is wild, coming from Finland. We've talked a little bit about that. And he has mandatory military service he has to do whenever his college career is done. He is almost like an international man of mystery, isn't he, a little bit?
Yeah, he is, and just a really cool story.
Yeah.
I think, I do things now that I said I would never do, and I'm never going to recruit an international player, but it's adversity or change, being uncomfortable, that makes you grow, and you can fight it or you can embrace it, and I'm certainly glad we've embraced it, because just getting to know that young man and hearing his stories and the different things that he's gone through just to be here and then has to go back to, really cool for our program to be a part of E.
I don't have the Finnish basketball package on my satellite TV. Do you have that?
Yes, I do. Yeah, it's
how good is it?
It's really good. It's right after the that thing.
Well, we know some, like Spain is good. We know Croatia.
Actually,
those are good.
Reading,
Finland, we don't know. They're good at basketball.
I was reading Sam's article.
Yeah.
And it talks about the hockey and all that. And but no, I think that's some of the beauty that just in full transparent. I'm reading that article, I'm learning some things. Yeah. Right. And that's just what it is.
Well, and the crazy part as well, he was playing against grown men when he was 14 years old.
And you can see that in my comment about, me going to take my shirt off because physically, those things. Yes. Should we do that right now?
If you want to, go.
Here's how it goes.
Well, Mike wanted to think it's interesting.
No. I will do it if you do it first. That's on air.
I don't think we're doing that.
Come on, McFeely. That's an interesting comment.
We'll go to color bars and tone before that happens.
He plays. He's obviously very, very athletic, and he's got a physicality to him, and he's learning the American game of basketball as well. And I see that as we can teach him some things, but he brings some things to our program, to our team that we can't teach, and it's been a great fit.
He's doing his own haircut.
I'm going to stay away from that.
You're not going to do that?
I'm going to stay away from that.
All right. You sure? You might need a little touch-up here.
I don't want to screw up handsome.
I have an email in. I know you're going to love touching this. Dom, can you ask Dave about the drama that's going on at Alabama and what's going on with college basketball, a larger picture?
Yeah, I love to touch on it. I think it's gross. I think it's a joke. And
that's a good word for it.
I think it's interesting that the attorneys or the lawyers the judges are from, may or may not have a background at Alabama. Yeah. And now, I will say this. Nate Oates isn't breaking any laws or anything like that. But I think there's some ethics to it behind the scenes, and some other coaches are I'm really like Dom Izzo, the way he's been vocal, Matt Painter, some of those things. I think we do as coaches. We have choices that we can and cannot choose. And I'll say this: I'm gonna bang on the Dom Izzo, Matt Painter, that side of things right now.
Is there a way when you guys get to the Final Four and then you have 360 Division I coaches to we gotta, because you mentioned gross. It's not good right now.
Here it is, right? Nobody's not saying that we don't need some congressional federal help, right? And there's some things where the buck can't stop until it gets to that, and the NCAA doesn't have a foundation. But there are some things too where what did I see Mark Pope talk about? Maybe you don't get in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
you can penalize us coaches, you can penalize programs. And there's some things that we as athletic directors, we as coaches, that we can be accountable to. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Because, and I've always said this: you give a college basketball coach an inch, he's going to take a yard really quick. And it's not necessarily, like I said, is it illegal? It's not illegal.
No.
But I love to see Golden's comments the other day. Go ahead, play him. We'll beat him, and that's just the case. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's wild right now. I think there's stories you could tell us we don't even know.
Wild, gross, whatever. Yeah. And we are going to look back on this time and just like, I don't know, just embarrassed. Like
Like,
how,
what are we doing kind of thing?
How did we do this?
Yeah.
Or, you know, and you go from COVID to portal to NIL to eligibility. I mean, the list goes on, and that's probably why I do have a few chrome hairs and a little bit deeper bags under my eyes. But I still say, and why I'm very proud of our group right now is we got a bunch of guys that get it. They're about the right things off the court, in the classroom, on the court. And so as we're talking about all this other you-know-what crap, let's talk about how, you know, there's still some purity in the Bison basketball program.
Last thing on that, have your guys, you know, obviously they know they're playing well. You let them like, hey, we're halfway here. We're in a good spot, but we haven't done anything yet. How do you, I guess, guard against that, looking at the standings like, hey, NDSU's unbeaten, sitting on top?
Again, I'll go back to Kurt Signetti, and he obviously pulled it from Coach K. It's human nature, right? And human nature tells me that our guys should be in a great place. They should be very, very happy, and they should be very, very proud, and I support that. It's also human nature that that's on my radar. Now, do we relax? Do we think we've made it? You know, we're only halfway through it. So now's where I come in. And any bit of slippage, any bit of not dotting an I or crossing a T or eating your crumbs or picking up your trash, all the coaching analogies that go into it, like that's where I'm going to come into play. And I think the beauty of that is we got a group that senses that to fight it. And you saw that on Saturday when we could have relaxed a little bit. But we also have depth and versatility. Yeah. And so Dom, you don't do your job, you come sit next to me on the bench until you understand it. And that's a great luxury that we have in our program right now.
I'd love to come sit on the bench. Is
that
open?
Bench, do our scheduling, come with us to Grand Canyon, all the other trips, all the things.
Eric's wondering if you get a game against Kansas. You've done that already, though.
Call him up, Eric.
Bill Self can come up here, right? Yeah.
I'm sure Bill would be excited about it too. We can make it a late January, early February too.
Yeah. I'm sure they'd sign right up for that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Great to see you. Thanks so much for doing this in studio, bud. This was awesome.
Hey, anything for you.
I know that. And good luck on Saturday. We'll talk next week.
Hey, you got your USD.
I do got my
colors
USD
on.
red.
Yeah.
I didn't wear Jackrabbit blue today, so at least I got this.
Well, geez,
right?
Thanks for something.
Dave Richman in studio joining us here to wrap up our first hour. He's going to trade spots. This will be fun. McFeely's coming in to start hour number 2. We'll do that.
All downhill from here.
Come back after this.